What's up, y'all? It's PSC Kyle, back in effect on World Discussions. We're here to talk about anything on here, on air, for your ears to hear. And today we're going to extend the opioid crisis, and we're going to talk in further detail about not only opioids, but fentanyl itself. First and foremost, I want to say this is not intended for arguments. It's more so intended for discussion. So this is for us to further our knowledge and kind of get down to the solution or what we're gonna do about this stuff, because this is killing us more than we need it to be doing whatever it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? It's doing more damage, it's doing more harm than we thought it was supposed to. Anesthesia for cancer and, more severe things. It's doing more damage, too much damage to the point where it's killing us. So I wanted to Well, first, first, I want to say that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm just a normal person that is reading this information from the government documents, court cases, and hospital reports for your health. And this is an extension of my first video. But we're going to further details about fentanyl and why we need to get rid of it. So I wrote all of this stuff about an East Norton man who is facing a trial on charges he delivered a fatal dose of fentanyl to a woman who was at a hospital. So I got this information not only from government documents, but this is actually a hospital report, and this hospital is not too far from where I live. So I had to cover this. Like, this is like too close to home. That's what I was telling everybody when I put the video on Instagram and all that. This stuff is too close to home. So it was an East Norton man, and he is now facing charges. It's weird. Listen to this. An East Norton man faces a trial on charges he delivered a fatal dose of fentanyl to a woman who was a patient at a township hospital. He delivered fentanyl to a woman at a township hospital. How did this man get these drugs to this woman in a township hospital? Now, what's weird is the fact that she was texting this man because she needed some painkillers to relieve her pain or whatever addiction she had in the hospital. It says that with the charges, the prosecutors alleged the man provided Ativan, which is for anxiety, heroin, and the synthetic opioid fentanyl 5 times to the woman while she was a patient being treated for an undisclosed non-threatening or non-life-threatening condition at Einstein Medical Center in East Norton. So all the people that know me, the people that I'm doing this video for, and not even just for the people that I'm doing this video for, just for the locals and people I know, but the world. Like, she was in the hospital for a non-life-threatening condition, and he brought the threatening stuff to the hospital. This is a weird story, so let me just get into it. A nurse found the woman unresponsive in the bathroom of her 4th-floor hospital room. Attempts to revive the lady were unsuccessful, and she was pronounced dead, and according to the criminal complaint filed and by East Norton detectives. So she was pronounced dead. They found her in the bathroom. I got rid of all the names and stuff because this is still ongoing. Like, I don't want the families and stuff to feel as though I'm disrespecting all kind of lessons and all love shown for the families and stuff that lost. She could have been someone's mother. She could have been a sister. So I send my respect to her and her family. The investigation states that May 5th, this is not too long ago, May 5th, the man signed the hospital's after-hours sign-in logs as a visitor to the woman's room, and according to the criminal complaint, the hospital surveillance cameras captured the man's arrival and departure 8 minutes later. So they seen this man coming in and out. I'm not going to say I don't know that they didn't see the guy with the drugs coming in and out. Of course they didn't, or they would have called the police and escorted the man out and even charged him before this even happened. But just the fact that he was in and out giving her drugs, like, I don't know if it was the addiction or it was the misunderstanding, or just why was she at the hospital needing pills? Like, what was the hospital doing? It just sounds a little blurry, a little fishy. So let's get deeper. Authorities alleged it was the man's 5th drug delivery to the woman's room during her stay, and each of which was arranged via text message. And the man's arrival and departure from the hospital was captured by the video surveillance each time. When the man returned to the hospital to sell more Ativan to the woman who complained in a text message that the pills received previously did not contain the agreed upon strength she had negotiated with the man before. So this is her texting the drug dealer, telling him that the heroin and the Ativan and the synthetic opioid fentanyl that she was getting wasn't strong enough. Now, I don't know how long she been on this stuff, but if that isn't getting the job done, and the hospital isn't doing as much as they can to get the job done to relieve you of pain or whatever non-life-threatening condition you were in, this sounds like everybody was confused because it says, according to the assistant district attorney for the case, the man asked her supplier to mix more fentanyl with the heroin to make it more potent for his customers. Not even the sanctity of a hospital could protect a woman from the grips of a drug dealer. So I don't know what type time he was on or whoever gave it to him. I'm not, bruh. You mixing two of the most potent drugs on the streets, like that aren't most potent painkillers on the streets. Like fentanyl is the one that's doing the killing out here. So we gotta lock down on that. And we're gonna get further into that because I did a little bit more research as to what the government's actually doing to get rid of this stuff. But you're mixing heroin and fentanyl in the span of 5 days. You're giving her this stuff and she asking for more and you're giving her more. And the reason why she died was it says an autopsy determined that the cause of the woman's death was accidental overdose by the adverse effects of fentanyl. That means over time, during those 5 days, he just kept giving her heroin and fentanyl. It's just building up in her body. You know, because fentanyl, it activates in seconds in your body. This stuff, it's just right on. As soon as you take it, give it a couple seconds and you're going to feel the effects. So it was saying that this is ultimately a buildup of chemicals in her system which eventually shut her body down, resulting in an overdose at the hospital. I'm going to keep coming back to I don't know what the hospital was doing, but if she was at the hospital, they should have been giving her something to maintain whatever was going on with her. Why was she texting people for these drugs while she was at the hospital? That's the part I don't understand, but let's get further into it. The man was a father of 3 and was addicted to drugs since the age of 14. Now, everybody knows alcohol, drugs, any type of stuff like that, it's always a little bit stronger when you're younger. It's always just a little bit stronger. The drugs just take over way or a little more faster than when you're an adult, than when you're a kid. So you can see what type of time he was on. It says the drugs since the age of 14, he certainly didn't want to relapse, but tragically it happened. And his brain got hijacked and his life spiraled out of control worse than ever. At the time he committed these acts, he wasn't of his right mind. When one is on certain drugs and on certain amounts during a long period of time, the drugs tend to make you behave in certain ways that were foreign to you beforehand, and that's what I mean by hijacked. So when your body's taking in all of these different types of chemicals, Ativan, heroin, synthetics, synthetic opioids, synthetic meaning with fentanyl, you can make this stuff in lab, at home. Like, this is stuff that they probably doing at the crib. Like, you know what I mean? So what I mean by hijacked is once you start doing this more and more and your body becomes more dependent upon it, then it starts becoming, what can I do if I don't have money to get this stuff again? Okay, maybe I don't have $10 or however much it costs to get this stuff. So I'm going to sell my son's TV. Or I'm going to sell my daughter's phone. Or I'm going to sell my mother's car. Like little stuff like that that changes your behavior. That's not you. That wasn't you before. That wasn't the person that we knew before he was taking these drugs. And now after these drugs, you became a different person. It's like your brain was hijacked, but the chemicals are actually doing this to your body. So that's what I mean by hijack. Now, we're going to get into what the Montgomery County is actually saying about this stuff. The Montgomery County District Attorney Kevin Steele said doctors were engaged in criminal activity, making them no better than the dealer on the streets. So now I'm reading, they're finding other doctors that are just giving people this stuff, like not being supervised. Doctors can prescribe opioids every month and just continue doing so without supervision of the patients. Every month. And over time, this stuff is not going to be as strong as it was before. Biology don't play that. You keep playing with biology, it's just going to mutate and get immune and get stronger. And it's before then, it's a rabbit hole. Before then, it's the point of no return. It's no going back. The effects of withdrawal are stronger than the stuff that, you see what I'm saying? Like, the withdrawals are way too hard to deal with, and that's why these people just keep coming back to this stuff, and that's what kills them. Because once you get used to heroin, and then you go to fentanyl, it's a wrap after that. It's no going back. Unless you better be with the best physicians in the country. You better be with them. You sleeping at their crib. Like, it may sound like a joke, but this is what you need to be doing. You need to be supervised by the best of the best, or it's over for you. Like, it's over. But those who feel like the pain pills the doctors give aren't working, they can't then ask for something stronger, because you go so far until biology figures out what's going on. Once you go so far into this drug, like, biology is going to say, listen, I know what you're doing and I know what you're trying to get at, but it's over now. We got this from here. So now we're so strong that any opioid you try to give us, it ain't no problem now. We don't, knock that out, knock that out. It don't even hit you no more. You're not getting high off of it no more, and it's not relieving pain anymore. That's what's leading people to this heroin stuff and this fentanyl. And fentanyl, like, the way they get this stuff into this country, yo, China, Mexico, all these foreign places with the poppy plants, and man, it ain't even about the poppy plants no more. People making this in the crib, in labs, down the city, all that type. Yeah, this is how people are getting this stuff in here. So it's not even about really, it's not really, it's deep, yo. Like, the way I'm explaining this stuff is deep. So I wanted to really go over the ways in which the U.S. as well as the public can stop the transportation of fentanyl. So some ways in which we can prevent overdoses from physicians to patients are, according to Dr. Christopher of the Pennsylvania Medical Society. He told us about professional efforts to educate doctors and patients about the need to be careful with opioids, because, since my last video, you know what they get into. It's like a gang. Doctors who seek to renew their license to practice medicine are now required to participate in at least 2 hours of training in the proper use of these drugs. So, let me just keep reading. They are creating new programs that doctors must participate in before they can even solidify their license to treat patients. It's called the Be Smart, Be Safe, Be Sure program. So this program is set up by the Pennsylvania Medical Society so that any doctor who prescribes opioids or any type of pain relievers, they got to go through this program before they can even solidify their license, or you getting booked. Like, they understand how strong this stuff is. They understand what this stuff is doing. So they're locking down on all this stuff. Like, this is just one little program. I'm going to go through the rest of them. We got, according to the Narcotics Overdose Prevention and Education, or NOPE, NOPE is a partnership among the district attorney's office, local law enforcement, and members of the community, created to stage opioid awareness events in middle schools, high schools, and colleges. So this is stuff just to create awareness for, anybody, because they want people to be aware of this stuff, because it can happen to anybody. You get hit by a car like Jean-Michel Basquiat, the famous painter, you're going to have to take these pain pills. And that's honestly what I feel as though kind of happened to him. Because when he got hit by that car, so-and-so what they said, and he had to go to the hospital at a young age, he probably had to take those pills at a young age too, and to relieve his pain from his broken arm. And eventually, it probably led to him doing heroin, because that stuff wasn't working anymore. And eventually, he overdosed on that stuff. Like, this is really serious stuff. So they're trying to create little awarenesses and awareness groups, like the partnership among the district attorney office, just to get people to understand what this stuff actually does, and down to the kids. Like, because like I said the last video, you can even be an athletic kid, a little sports kid, lacrosse, football, basketball, anything. It don't matter. This stuff, it's a pain pill. If you feel pain, this will replace your pain receptors and help your body out. So this is for anybody. This information is for anyone. Now, a certified recovery specialist who owns and operates Hope Therapeutic Services in Montgomery County. Oh, this about to cut off. We ain't about to let them know. You ain't about to cut us off on the right information. Hold up. And now I wanted to get back to what I was saying before I was interrupted. A certified recovery specialist who owns and operates Hope Therapeutic Services in Montgomery County testified that many patients who seek inpatient treatment currently face a delay of up to 6 weeks. Now that is crazy. Now I don't know if it's too many people up there because of this, or it's not enough and they don't know how to handle it because there's too many people trying to get in. But I want to tie this back into what was going on with the woman at the hospital. Now, I don't know if she was misinformed of what she was actually doing when she texted the guy about how much she needed because it wasn't strong enough, but that does not give you the right to mix heroin and fentanyl and give it to somebody. This is the stuff that, no disrespect, this is the stuff that may have killed Lil Peep because he may have done heroin, but when you have heroin and fentanyl, which fentanyl somehow seems to creep into heroin because it gives it a or it gives it a little bit more strength. You don't need that strength. That's not the strength that you need. That's not the stuff that we need to be messing with because heroin and fentanyl is not a good mixture. And that's the stuff that's killing people. You got to understand that. Now, I wanted to tie that back into what was happening at Einstein because my first video was about people being misinformed about these drugs. You guys got to understand this stuff. These drugs are no joke. Heroin may be crazy, but fentanyl is dangerous. But when you mix them together, it's a surefire way to show. This is the epitome of somebody that doesn't understand what these drugs are doing. Like heroin and fentanyl, for you to even think to give this to somebody, like, you're out of your mind. You had to be hijacked at the time. Whoever gave this stuff to you and whoever you get, like, you giving it to somebody, you're out of your mind. You got to understand. So another way, not aside from these programs that they're making, another way that they're having something being done. This is kind of okay, but it's a little expensive, and we'll get to that. But this is kind of okay. According to the Montgomery County Investigation Grand Jury Report, naloxone, a prescription drug, is a life-saving antidote for opioid overdose. Commissioner Arkush also told us that naloxone is a safe drug that has long been used in operating rooms and other settings where opioids are administered. One of its important properties are that it will cause no harm if administered mistakenly. That is, to someone who is not actually suffering an opioid overdose. So, you don't really have any crazy effects if someone isn't overdosing, or if they don't even have those type of like side effects from doing this stuff. So it's just kind of safe. Like, we can have this on hand anytime we know someone, maybe a family member or a friend that usually does this stuff. We can have this stuff out. So okay, maybe he's been in the bathroom too long, something's going on. Let What's going on? Hello? Oh, nah, go in there and make something happen. This is something where anybody can have it, and we can all have something like, oh, and just use it to help save someone's life. So this is a good alternative. But let's talk about the side effects of the alternative. Well, first, let's keep reading. The grand jury also reported naloxone must be administered quickly before the user stops breathing. The key is to make the drug widely available, to publicize its effectiveness, and to have it on hand when an overdose occurs. So they're trying to make this a big thing where everybody can use it. So this is kind of a good step in where we're going with this, because now anybody can have this on hand. So it's like we're gonna get deeper into what I was just about to say about the bathrooms and all that, and like how anybody can help somebody. But this is good where we're going. This is good. But we may have to work on the expenses of the lifesaver, because 2 doses of the nasal spray costs approximately 130 beans, $130. Now, that may be a lot of money to some people, but you got to think that $130 will save a life. So you better spend that $130 if you try and save bro, or you trying to save grandma, or whatever's going on. Whoever is doing this stuff without supervision, or this is a good step, but it may be a little bit too expensive for the people that are going through this stuff. And while the 2 doses, it says 2 doses of the nasal spray, There are also 2 doses of the injected form. Now that, no. Because, yeah, you inject it in the thigh, you inject it in the arm, but that's $500. They gotta worry about the pricing of this stuff. Like, $500 every time somebody close to overdosing. These people, I'm watching all these documentaries and videos. People are overdosing 9 times a day. You got people overdosing one day 9 times. You got people overdosing once every day and 9 days. Like, that's a lot of overdose. Like, I ain't got $500 every time somebody overdose. I mean, it's a good alternative to save somebody when they do, but it's like, that's crazy, man. $500, that some people may have to cut that check. That may be what some people got to do. Other ways to keep fentanyl out are new management programs for bathrooms and business environments. This is what I was going to say, like way before I was talking about the naloxone. New management programs for bathrooms and business environments and medical facilities to not only in Montgomery County, but the entire country. We need this stuff everywhere. Like, we need naloxone to be known around the entire country, Alaska, Hawaii, and everywhere inside the USA, everything. Like, new management programs for bathrooms and business environments and medical facilities to not only in Montgomery County, but the entire country for specific reasons, being as though this is a frequent overdose area, the bathroom, where heroin and fentanyl addicts tend to overdose. At the Einstein Hospital, the woman was found overdosed in the 4th floor bathroom. So this is another example of this being a frequent area where people overdose. So it can even be a kit in the bathroom, a kit in the manager's office, a whole booklet, a whole document, everything you need to know about the kit, everything. We need everything to be shown. We need these people to have this stuff on hand, ready to go. If they go into the bathroom and they don't look too good, or they may look like since y'all want to prejudge, you people want to prejudge when people come to the restaurant, they can't use the bathroom, they gotta buy something. All right, well, nah, we need this to be something y'all have at hand at every time. You see somebody gotta go to the bathroom and they look a little iffy, a little druggy, a little, yeah. As soon as they go to the bathroom, supervision, monitor everything. You be right at the door. If they in there too long, hello ma'am, hello mister, is everything okay? Yeah, all that, because these people are dying. You don't understand this. So if these businesses are gonna be making money, this gotta be a part of the payment plan. Y'all gotta put this in y'all checks. Y'all, if y'all buying all this stock and y'all paying for lights and water and employees, and yeah, this gotta be a part of what y'all paying for. Yeah, everything, because if we're gonna save people's lives, we gotta be everywhere where it happens, because we can't let these people go into the crevices of the world and in the deep dark bathrooms to kill themselves no more. It's not, no. According to the International Journal of Drug Policy, more than half of the managers interviewed, 58% out of 86 people, encountered drug use in their business bathrooms. More than a third, 34% of these managers also found syringes, and the vast majority, 90% of managers, have received no overdose recognition of naloxone training. That is... Did you just hear what I said? You can rewind it, because I don't have to say it again. I don't have to say it again. Rewind it. 7 managers encountered unresponsive individuals who required emergency assistance. Now, out of 86 restaurants, 7 managers encountered unresponsive individuals. Now, that may not be a lot to you. That's 7 lives. That's 7 dads. That's 7 moms. That's 7 cousins. Like, yo, y'all gotta lock down on this stuff. Where is the... They don't even have any recognition. They don't even know what naloxone is. Why isn't this on the news? Y'all talking about R. Kelly. Y'all talking about Michael Jackson doing this. Why isn't this on the news? Y'all need to be putting this up. This need to be on everybody. When Instagram went down, when Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram went down, this should have been everywhere. Forget all them apps. This should have been everywhere, because we got people checking every day. So let's keep going, man, because I don't think y'all heard what I'm saying. Rid this country of this drug. That's the main focus for this video. Rid the country of this drug. It is one of the leading killers, if not the leading killer, of the opioid epidemic. China and Mexico are some of the leading distributors of the analog and precursors of these drugs. This drug is only doing our country harm. It is too addictive to be taken on a regular basis, and it is not normal for this type of drug to have such an adverse effect on people and still be lingering around the streets as if it's some type of marijuana strain. This is not nothing to play with, man. Do y'all not understand that the opioid epidemic is killing tens of thousands of people every year? Like 2016, 2015. Come on, yo. Understand. The U.S. Customs and Borders Protection monitor any packages that reach the United States and use things such as spectrometers that shoot lasers and identify the drugs through the packaging foreign countries, or the packaging from the foreign countries. We got canine dogs that detect the foreign packages laced with fentanyl, and we got Border Patrol. These are a few little things that the U.S. created to lock down on these drugs, and they doing a pretty good job. According to the DEA, 32 kilograms of fentanyl worth $28.8 million seized and 2 Dominican nationals arrested for trafficking in Boston. That's a lot of fentanyl. Okay, DEA, I'll give y'all props. Y'all doing y'all thing. According to the CBP, the Customs and Border Protection, the Nogales commercial facility seized nearly 4.6 million in fentanyl and methamphetamine, totaling close to 650 pounds from a Mexican national when he attempted to enter the United States through the port of Nogales. This seizure is the largest seizure of fentanyl in CBP history. Y'all doing y'all thing. Props. This is what we need. We need y'all to, like y'all locking down on these hoods, finding everybody with the drug. Y'all need to be locking down on these countries that's bringing this stuff in, because these the real killers. The suit and ties, these the real killers. Y'all talking about these kids getting shot in the head over here, getting shot in the, no, these the real killers killing tens of thousands of people every year. The U.S. is actually cracking down on these drugs with new methods, but we still need alternatives so that people do not have to turn to street drugs for their health. Yes. And that's from my words. We still need alternatives. Because these physicians, like the story when I read when we first started this, she died at the hospital. Rest in peace to her too. That's crazy, yo. This was written ultimately to notify those who are unaware of what fentanyl is doing to this country, what the country is doing to combat it, and how we can further prevent this drug from creeping into our country uninvited. I'd like to take this time to thank the CBP, the DEA, the Commissioner Arcouche, Montgomery County Grand Jury Report, the Mercury Media News Group that usually sends me stuff on my phone almost every other day, the Pennsylvania Medical Society, District Attorneys of Montgomery County, and the First Amendment Podcast, and also the International Journal of Drug Policies, for providing this informative data that is presented to us in document form on the internet. This is all information that I'm getting from the internet and hospital reports. So, with that being said, thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Please feel free to share this. It could save a life. You hear me? And I'm out.